Happy Sunday! So this week I'm trying a little different format, partly because my video this week did not turn out well. The audio doesn't work, so yeah. Now I know this week I promised you the Fire Nation, but I was researching it and I really just didn't like what I was seeing. So instead, I'm going to talk about Zuko. Zuko is one of my favorite characters on Avatar: The Last Airbender. But specifically, I want to talk about Zuko in Zuko Alone. Zuko Alone is really cool because it's the only episode that focuses squarely on one character. That's Zuko. This episode starts with Zuko's banishment, and you get to see it again, and it's not a story that his uncle's telling. You see it, and you feel the emotion, and you understand that Zuko only wants the best for his country in this moment. Following this banishment, you see a clip with Zuko telling his uncle that they can't travel together anymore. And then following that, you see the clip where Zuko has captured Aang. And he tells Aang that his struggle and his fight has made him who he is. And this is the start of this episode. And you learn more about Zuko than you have in any other episode with just this intro, because you learn about his care for his nation. And you learn that he's not just some rich kid who is seeking the Avatar for fun. He's fighting. And it's a really interesting way to start the episode. I really appreciated this episode in Avatar: The Last Airbender because it showed why Zuko was the way he was, as well as they had kind of touched on his humanity before. But in this episode, they truly touch on his humanity. They show flashbacks of his mother. They show that he can learn. And it's this beautiful, beautiful mess of wonderfulness, because you can see why he would be okay with going to Ba Sing Se and opening the tea shop with his uncle that he ends up happening. You see the struggle begin in him of what is he going to be. You see the beginnings of why he would join the Avatar and not feel like he was betraying his nation. Also seeing the gift of the dagger that Zuko got as a child that says never give up as a fight. I feel like never give up without a fight becomes Zuko's idea for everything after this moment. And you see that in pretty much every action that he gives throughout the show. And then his gifting of this knife to the young boy symbolizes that Zuko has grown and sees this little boy is going through the same struggle that he went through when he lost his cousin. And it's this beautiful symbolism that happens halfway through the episode. And it feels like from that moment on, everything that goes from that moment forward just seems to go downhill in the episode. And it's this beautiful. I also enjoyed this episode because getting to learn more about Zuko's backstory and getting to learn about what it was like when he lived in the palace and seeing the relationship between him and young Azula, you see the mirroring of what's going to happen to them later. You see the groundwork being laid for Azula's psychotic break, and you see the groundwork being laid for Zuko's want of the ending of the war. And seeing this is cool, and it really develops Zuko's character more than just a faceless villain who's slowly becoming good, and it gives him a personality and it gives him a person. But I have to say, my favorite thing about this episode is the ending, and despite the bittersweetness of it, I think it truly shows Zuko's mindset, because he fights to beat this general just because he's been doing injustice, and he fights successfully without bending until he cannot fight without bending. And he knows once he uses his fire bending that the townspeople won't treat him the same. And it's honestly quite sad to watch him attempt to give the little boy back the knife, and the kid just go, "I hate you." Beautiful mess of sadness and grief that I really enjoyed. So basically, I enjoyed this episode. Tell me what you think about this. I just ranted for about 5 minutes. Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next Sunday, hopefully with my regular video back. Bye!